Sticking on a related topic, which of course is censorship, I want to bring this on screen because we've been talking about AI quite a lot over the last number of months, and a number of mainstream news outlets have been highlighting the problems with AI. And so this is the BBC with their headline, "Why Google's woke AI problem won't be an easy fix." They're talking about the fact that these large language models are hoovering up all kinds of data from the internet. And of course, most of that data is biased. We've got another article here from Rolling Stone. "The right is absolutely terrified of woke AI." So I thought this was quite ironic because the right is absolutely terrified of what's being described as woke AI. So it's perhaps ironic that Fox News has published this article, "Mastering the Art of Brainwashing, China Intensifies AI Censorship. China sees AI as a means by which to change people's minds, leading expert says." I'm going to suggest another scenario. It's not just the right that is worried about woke AI and certain ideologies being promoted through AI. It's also the left, and China represents that left, perhaps. So maybe China is more worried about the fact that unrestricted AI is going to be bringing ideologies from outside China into China that may not be the best for Chinese society, never mind the Chinese government itself. We can talk a little bit more about that later as well. But sticking with censorship then, GB News was publishing this yesterday, "End of free speech in Wales. GB News permanently banned in Senedd after major censorship." And this is about the internal television network. So inside the Senate building and the various offices and so on, there are televisions there and they receive television signals. And the Senate has decided that GB News's broadcasts are no longer welcome on the internal television network. And so they've kicked it off. They did this last November, actually, but they've decided to make this a permanent thing. So this was a petition which apparently didn't seem to get any traction, but nonetheless, stop the ban on GB News in the Senate from last November. And this is what the presiding officer said, Ellen Jones: "Please understand and respect my attempt to protect women and men working in the Senate from having to witness." In this case, she was talking about Lawrence Fox's offensive and misogynistic comments on our internal Senate system. So I leave it to you to decide whether this is appropriate. I would have some very serious questions about this. But just sticking with censorship then, here's The Hill, which is a US publication, as everybody knows. But their headline here is, "The most chilling words today. I'm from NewsGuard and I'm here to rate you." And so this is Jonathan Turley. This is an op-ed, and he's talking about NewsGuard and their efforts to decide who is legitimate speech and who isn't. And so if we just put that back for a second, let's look at NewsGuard. They say that they're transparent, accountable, trust ratings for thousands of news outlets. We've talked about them before because, of course, we at the UK column have also received this particular call from them. So this is our trust rating from NewsGuard. We get 27.5 out of 100. "Proceed with maximum caution. This website is unreliable because it severely violates basic journalistic standards." Well, quite honestly, perhaps we need to be violating a few more journalistic standards, but let's have a look and see. Apparently, we do not repeatedly publish false or egregiously misleading content. So we got 22 points for that. We do gather and present information responsibly. Oh, no, sorry, we don't. That's right, because there's X's beside that, aren't there? So I'm completely wrong there. Regularly corrects or clarify errors. We don't do that, except I just did do that, didn't it? So they got that wrong too. But anyway, handles the difference between news and opinion responsibly. Avoids deceptive headlines. Well, apparently we do avoid deceptive headlines, so that's one thing. The website discloses ownership and financing. We don't do enough of that. Clearly labels advertising. Well, we don't have any advertising, so that's fine, and so on. So you can see there. But I'm just going to end by saying, if you want to understand everything that we've just talked about, have a look at the Censored page on the UK column website. We have one of our timelines on there that shows the building of this infrastructure. If you haven't seen this yet, please have a look at it, and most importantly, share.